I saw this story, and it says Warriors could set up talks with LeBron James if max deal is available. They can create a max salary slot this offseason, sources told ESPN. It looks like LeBron James is going to decline his $35.6 million player option and become an unrestricted free agent for the third time in his career, although re-signing with Cleveland is not out of the question. But I guess what they're looking at is maybe the Warriors could build an offer around Klay Thompson and Andre Iguodala, so it'd be a sign-and-trade scenario for Golden State with LeBron James. Wow. Okay. To make the sign-and-trade possible, Golden State would also have to need Kevin Durant to decline his player option and take even less than his current salary of $25 million. In addition to moving Sean Livingston's salary, they'd have to fill out their bench with players making the league minimum. Why? There's more detail here than I thought. But if you're the Warriors, why would you do that to your roster and go after LeBron James? Why not keep Klay Thompson? I mean, what's the age difference between Klay Thompson and LeBron James, Paulie?
I think we're at 5 years. I'll double check with 5. I think it's 5.
And I understand the Andre Iguodala, but that's a lot. There's a lot of detail here.
I would want to see that team, though. Wouldn't you want to?
Oh, well, yeah, I'd like to see it, but I don't know. There's part of you. If LeBron went to Golden State, he'd get roughed up.
Oh, look at Durant. He got killed.
Yes.
And LeBron would be times 10.
Yes, it would. Yeah. But I don't know. Certainly a January story or beginning of February caught my eye. I don't know if, that's realistic. But, that GM, Bob Myers, is very aggressive. And, they'd talked about Anthony Davis. I mean, they've talked about other players who could play for Golden State. But LeBron James going there, he says he would listen to Golden State. Yeah, I guess you do that. But I don't see LeBron going, how about LeBron takes less to go to Golden State? Why does everybody else have to take less? And how's that going to go over? You're going to have to trade Klay Thompson and Andre Iguodala and what else to get LeBron James?
Well, how else would LeBron get to 6 titles unless I'm not sure is there any other situation where he can challenge the Warriors?
Well, Houston still is, it keeps coming up.
Yeah.
If you think that that's a viable option, but that's weird though, because Harden has the ball, Chris Paul has the ball, and LeBron has the ball. That's the dynamic I don't understand. It sounds good, like, hey, they're friends and they can go play. It doesn't always work that way. But
the Lakers or Clippers, you're not going to win there.
He's not going to the Clippers. No, I don't see that.
Sixers?
Well, I wondered about that. If he looks at if he knew Embiid was going to be healthy and Ben Simmons is the real deal, but you got Markelle Fultz, who you have no idea. But there's a young nucleus there. That's a better nucleus than you have with the Lakers. And that's why I thought, and I'd heard this a while ago, and then it finally surfaced that don't rule out Philadelphia. I don't know. We're going to get to the point where don't rule out Sacramento and don't rule out Orlando. And yeah, Paulie.
It is funny that the headline in the story, like, there's not much to it. But then your mind starts churning of these possibilities. We all love change.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had told you that Kevin Durant was going to go there a year before Durant went there, it would have sounded unlikely.
Yeah, I would have been surprised at that. Let me dive into this with what happened with the Clippers. I don't know who saw this coming, Reg, that they were going to deal him after they signed him to that, embarrassing contract, and then you send him to Detroit. What do you make of this deal?
I think it's a win, really, for both teams. Look, Blake is a very, very, very good player, but he's not a great player, Dan. And we all know about the injuries. He's injury-prone. With the big three, they were never able to get out of the second round with Chris Paul and obviously with DeAndre Jordan and Doc Rivers, a NBA championship-winning coach. They were never able to get out of the second round. What's upsetting is there was a lot of things put on the table to woo him back for him to sign. You're a Clipper for life. We're going to retire your jersey. And then within this year, he gets traded. So, you put all those things together. Now you ship him to Detroit to team with Andre Drummond. Right now they're currently Detroit's in the 9th spot, 2.5 behind Philly for that 8th spot in a weaker conference. So it's a win for Detroit. It's also a win for the Clippers because now you're not saddled with an average salary of $35 million over the next 5 years from Blake. You get 2 young pieces in Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley. They're young. Are they the talent that Blake is? No, but they're good, serviceable young men. You get a draft pick, and now you're making rooms because we all know this free agent summer who's going to be on the block. And maybe they're trying to make room. They're trying to think they have a shot at getting LeBron. So you see a lot of teams going to start making moves in anticipation of possibly having an interview with LeBron and his people.
But if you're LeBron and you look at, let's say you look at the Lakers and you look at the Clippers, what is more interesting to you?
Well, history-wise, obviously the Lakers. But I think LeBron doesn't care about who was there before him, but you're going to be walking into the shadow of a Kobe Bryant who won 5 championships for the Los Angeles Lakers, a Magic Johnson, a Wilt Chamberlain, a Shaquille O'Neal. So you look up at the rafters and you look at all those wonderful players and their jerseys retired. There's history there, and there's something when you put on that uniform. The Clippers, there is no success. Maybe you can build something there. I don't know if you quite have the talent and the young talent with Lonzo Ball and a Kyle Kuzma, a Brandon Ingram that the Lakers have, but they've never won anything. So maybe if you're LeBron, you're thinking, well, there's only one place to go with the Clippers, and that's up. They've never been out of the second round. If I get them to the conference finals or the NBA finals, which is going to be challenging in the West with Houston and Golden State, it's so stacked. It's a win for me as well. So, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be said, so much ruling behind the scenes. But, again, I think it was a win for both teams because if you're the Clippers, you get off that huge salary of Blake Griffin and you move on. And I think those two young players, in Bradley and Harris, they're good. They're not great, but they can play. They're both 25 years or younger. So if you're Doc Rivers, you just throw them out there and you play hard.
Reggie's going to call Thursday night's game Thunder and the Nuggets at 10:30 Eastern. Is LeBron allowed to own a team while playing for a team?
I'm not quite sure on the rules or ramifications on that, but I did hear that Gilbert is thinking about putting up the Cavaliers for sale. How balling would that be to grow up in Akron, you've won a championship with the Cavs, your hometown, and then become owner and player and GM and coach and scout? He can do it all.
He's been accused of being all of those things. Now he can actually be all of those things. He can be the owner,
yes,
coach, GM. But the NBA I would think would want that if Dan Gilbert wants out, because LeBron's going to say to him, look, dude, if I stay here, this franchise is worth more. If I leave, you're going to lose a lot of money trying to sell it because I'm leaving. So either sell it to me for this price or I'm leaving, and then you try to sell it for whatever price you got because it's not going to be worth anywhere near what it is with me.
And that conversation has to happen very soon, especially before summer, because and if you're LeBron, I think I want 51% or more of that team, correct? I don't want to be a minority owner. I want to be a majority owner so I can make the moves and I can make the decisions. And that's the way LeBron has been his whole career as a basketball player and a businessman. I think it would be only fitting as an owner and his hometown Cavaliers.